Hillary Clinton will never be president of the United States. You're fooling yourself. Donald Trump will eviscerate her in the general election. I'll tell you exactly how he can do it. It's so easy. You think he gives a shit about all that crazy nonsense he said back in the primary? Hell no. He knows he did exactly what he had to do to beat to get those fools on the right to vote for him in the primary. And if he's smart, and I don't think he's smart, but I think he's smart enough to figure this out. The first debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, my stomach turns as I say it, all he has to do is turn to Hillary and say, Hillary, you've known me for 35 years. I've donated to your campaign. I was a Democrat for 30 years. Do you really believe any of that crazy nonsense that I said over there to the Republicans? I can't believe that you would. You got to be smarter than that. I didn't believe any of that. I did what I had to do to win. I said what I had to do to win. I took all of their tricks, all their dirty tricks, their racism, their bigotry, their fear, their xenophobia, and I flipped it back on them, and I burned them. And I beat them. Not only did I beat them, I murdered them, because I'm a winner. That's what I do. And I did what I had to do to win. I did in 10 months, in one primary election, without spending any money, what these so-called liberals and Democrats have been trying to do their whole life. I took the Republican Party and I lit it on fire. And I salted the ground behind me. There's 16 dead bodies behind me. I ended political careers because that's what I do. I'm a winner. And now that I won, I'm going to tell you what I really think. And then he's going to run to the left of Hillary. He's already got a foreign policy speech that he came out rehearsed. And you can tell that he's not very good at this yet. He's looking to the side. And you can tell when he's actually genuine when he's reading off the teleprompter. It's pretty terrible. But he's already positioning himself to run to the left of her on foreign policy, which is where the general public is. You don't think that he can bullshit liberals the way that he bullshitted the right? You are wrong. He does that in the first debate. He turns to her and said, I didn't believe any of that crazy shit. And poof. It all goes away. There's a reset button. Because we don't have any political history on him. So now he can tell everybody on the left exactly what it is they want to hear. Because then they can go, oh, I knew all along he didn't really believe any of that. Because people on the left don't want to believe that someone that buffoonish, someone with that radical stance can legitimately become president of the United States, can have a legitimate chance and shot at being president of the United States. He's going to tell people what they want to hear, what they want to believe, and they will believe him. Because honestly, it's probably one of the more legitimate things that he's actually said his entire political career. I think that's exactly what he is doing. I think his goal was always to destroy the Republican Party. Initially. Now that he's actually winning, I think he thinks, well, I can be president. And if he makes that pivot, if he makes that turn, and then he starts framing her as the Republican in the race, he frames her as the war hawk. He frames her the one with the big donor money. He frames her with the ties to Wall Street. He frames her as the interventionist candidate, which she is. She's all of those things. And he and he runs to her left. He'll kill her among the independent vote. Because the independents can't stand Hillary Clinton. She gets her ass handed to her in any primary against Bernie Sanders. And I love Bernie Sanders, don't get me wrong. But with the eyeball test, you know, you would think that someone, a 74-year-old Jew from Brooklyn who's an atheist and, you know, socialist, all these things that are supposed to be knocks in American politics. She can't put him away? I mean, then he makes that pivot and he's going to hammer her on every legitimate criticism, by the way. He's going to hammer her on the email scandal, which, by the way, nobody even really knows what that is on the left. Nobody even knows. They hear it goes in one ear and out the other. They say, oh, well, she's under investigation by the FBI. They go, oh, yeah, she's been, you know, they've been hitting her since the 90s. No, they haven't been hitting her since the 90s about how she, when she was running the State Department, mishandled information that, by the way, her own State Department that she used to run said couldn't be released to the public because it would cause, quote, grave Exceptionally grave damage to national security. 22 emails. Every single one of them would release, would if they were released, would cause exceptionally grave damage to national security. That's from the State Department that she used to run. Okay? That is a legitimate criticism. And if you don't think Donald Trump is going to hammer her on that, hammer her on Benghazi, hammer her on anything from Monica Lewinsky all the way to the fact that it took her till 2013 to come around on gay marriage. If you don't think he can pivot and characterize her as the middle ground Republican that she really is, you're dead wrong. And he's going to win the independent. He'll smash her in the independent vote. And a third of the Republican Party will come along with him, even though he was bullshitting them the whole time. Because they're emotionally invested in him, and they're going to say, well, I know who he really is. He's really that racist who wants to build a wall. He's just, now that he's in a general election, he doesn't want to say it, but we know who he really is. And they'll still vote for him because they're idiots. And let me tell you something about Hillary Clinton voters. They're just as stupid. They don't know a thing about the issues. Not all of them. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. But Hillary Clinton voters are exactly like Trump voters in one way. They vote for a person. They don't vote for policies. They vote for a person. Donald Trump voters vote for Donald Trump. They don't give a shit about his criticisms. They don't give a shit about the crazy stuff he says. They vote for Donald goddamn Trump. Hillary Clinton supporters vote for Hillary Clinton. Okay? The reason why nobody under 35 votes for either one of them is because people under 40 or 35 don't vote for people. They vote for policies. Right? So people who are independent are generally to the left of the Democrats. Of course, there are some people who are considered independent even though they're like Tea Party people, but that's not the majority. The majority of people who are so far to the left, they can't even stomach the Democrats. They will abandon Hillary Clinton in a heartbeat. They will jump from her to a person who they actually perceive as being a legitimate agent of change. Now, that change is dangerous and it's a risk we can't afford, but they're not going to see it that way. They're going to see it as, wow, look what he did to the Republicans. Maybe he is a winner. Maybe he does know things. Maybe he is a little sharper than Hillary Clinton. And then when he hammers her over and over and over and over on everything you can think of, he's going to call her names. He's going to use all the same tricks he did in the Republicans. You don't think it's going to work on liberals? You don't think it's going to work on Hillary voters? You're crazy. You're crazy. They're not any smarter. They're not any smarter. The only people who are informed voters in this country are the progressives, way far to the left. And they're not going to vote for Hillary Clinton anyways. So you're going to have a situation where he paints her as a Republican, which she is. They're going to jump ship. And we're going to have President Donald J. Trump. So I hope you're happy, Democratic Party. I hope you're happy that you didn't go with the candidate who murders among the independents in every open primary election. Every single one of them. He murders. I don't think he's lost a single race. Maybe one, maybe two, I'm not sure. I don't think he's lost a single one where the primary was open. You know why? Because independents can't stomach Hillary Clinton. She has the highest disapproval ratings of any Democrat who's ever run, of anyone who has ever run in a general election. The only person who has higher disapproval ratings than her is Donald Trump. But I just told you how he can erase all that and hit the reset button. Hillary Clinton can't reset shit, okay? You know why? Because her disapproval ratings have gone up in primary elections. When she's running against a fellow Democrat, people find her so disturbing and disingenuous that in primary elections, with Obama and with Sanders, she has hurt herself so bad that her disapproval ratings have gone up as she's campaigning. Wait till the Republican Trump attack machine gets a hold of her. By the way, this idea that she's well vetted, this idea that she's Teflon, that she's weathered attacks from the right wing, she has never run a race against a Republican. She's never been in a general election. What are you talking about? Hillary Clinton will never be president of the United States unless something crazy happens, unless there's an influence from an outside source that sways the election. As it stands today, I'm telling you, Donald Trump will pivot to the left. He will paint her as a Republican. He will disavow all that stuff he said in the primary because he doesn't give a shit, and he will tell liberals exactly what it is they want to hear because that's what he does best. You heard it here first.